So this one's going to be doing a live Hangout broadcast type video. Just notice to everybody, if you want to join, you have to be 18 or older, or at least when you signed up for your YouTube account, Google Plus account, you had to sign up that you were 18 or older, because you should be, because otherwise, people are weird about that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So I guess what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go through sort of like a regular Q&A. It'll be basically 1 hour, and anybody who wants to join can join. You can ask me questions if you have any. Don't think I have anyone joined yet. Nope, 13 viewers, so that's okay. But nobody asking questions yet. So if you guys have any questions throughout, please send them through. I hope I didn't mess up. This is the first time I've ever done this, so I don't really know how it works 100%, but I believe you guys should be able to ask questions. See, you've got the chat here. Should do. I don't know. Oh, maybe you have to have a Google Plus account. I'm not sure. So, yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get started with some different Q&A type questions that people had sent to me, and then we can kind of go from there. Yeah, so it should be good. So one of the ones that people asked me first off, one of the kind of things that are most discussed. Actually, I should say that this may contain some spoilers, because there's a lot of spoiler phobes on YouTube nowadays. It's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, so it could contain some spoilers depending on what we talk about, depending on what people ask, that whole thing. So just be wary that we may get into some kind of spoiler territory. So if you're worried about that, you may not want to watch or contribute. Yeah, so one of the first ones that I basically have talked about recently, which was a rumor that was going around on Spoil the Dead for The Walking Dead, and it was basically that apparently Glenn, or there was a rumor that Glenn was going to be one of the first characters to die in Season 5 for The Walking Dead. Now, apparently there's been some pictures taken just recently, and Stephen Yeun is still on set, which would mean that basically, obviously, he wasn't, he wasn't killed off if he's still, if he's actually still on set filming, or at least we wouldn't think so. So I wouldn't say that's 100%, guaranteed that he's not going to die at some point in Season 5. It was a pretty big rumor, kind of, spread all over the place. But you guys know how hungry people are for Walking Dead info. Basically, as soon as something kind of gets out there, everybody just grabs it. They just want to know, as much about it as possible for the upcoming season. So it could have just been totally a rumor, total nonsense, total bogus. And if anybody really likes Glenn, if Glenn's one of your more favorite characters, then great, good news for you, because Stephen Yeun appears to be still on set. So that's good news if you like Glenn. Yeah, a lot of people said that they weren't going to come to the Hangout because they were going to watch Falling Skies. And yeah, I mean, I've reviewed Falling Skies. If any of you guys have seen Falling Skies, it's a weird show. It's one that it started off really good. The first season was good, and then after that, I kind of tried the second season. I tried the third season, and it's just such a scatterbrained, ridiculous show. It's just all over the damn place. So personally, I just was like, oh man, this is just, I don't know. See, the thing about it is, it's not that you can't do like an alien invasion type TV series and make it feel pretty legit. I mean, you can. It's, I think it can be done, and we have had some that are pretty good, alien invasion type TV shows. Obviously, lots of movies like Signs, that kind of stuff. But Falling Skies is just one where it's like, oh man, I don't know. It's so all over the place and so unbelievable. That's the thing that takes me out of it. If at any point in time you're watching a series and something happens and you feel like that doesn't make sense, or this character wouldn't do that, or it just doesn't add up, it doesn't seem realistic to that situation in that show, especially with a drama series, is, for me personally, it's just like takes me right out of it. So I won't be reviewing Falling Skies this year. I'm not even going to bother. Last 2 years in a row, I tried it. As soon as it came out, I tried it, reviewed it, put it out there, and people like it. Like, some people do like the show, and nothing against that. I mean, if you like it, great. I'm happy for you. The visuals are good. It looks pretty good. It's just kind of absolutely ridiculous, ridiculous series. So anyway, that's what I think about it. Anybody on Google Plus able to send through any questions in the group chat? Uh, anyone? I guess not. I don't know. Maybe I messed up. I'm not sure. This is, like I said, this is the first time I've used, the live feed and everything. As you guys can see, this is what the green screen looks like when I don't have it edited. As you can see, I've got some ghetto clips there. Just some stuff from the dollar store. But as long as it's pulled tight and the lighting is kind of even around, it can my software can take out the background and put in something else. So it makes it look pretty cool. But if I zoom out, you can kind of see the room. It's just well, it's kind of messy actually. I don't want to zoom out too much. But anyway. Yeah, so Falling Skies sucks, in my opinion, and going on from there, there is some news about Better Call Saul. So if you guys haven't heard about that, if anybody watches Breaking Bad or any fans of Breaking Bad, apparently AMC has ordered 2 seasons of it already, which is pretty awesome. And basically, I'm not sure. I would assume probably the first season might be like, I don't know, 10 episodes or something like that. Maybe the second season they ordered 13. They haven't specified, but it's supposed to start in 2015. There is a picture of it as well too, which I'll probably do a video talking about it, giving my thoughts on the series. It's supposed to be like a prequel to Breaking Bad, so that should be fun. And obviously Bob Odenkirk, the guy who plays Saul, he's going to be returning. He was on Fargo, if anybody checked that out, and he's really funny. He's really good. I like him a lot, and he's going to be, of course, the lead in that. So that should be fun to kind of see, kind of like Breaking Bad, but rather than having Walter White as the main character, having Saul as the main character. That'd be fun because he's a lot of Breaking Bad, a lot of the comedy in the series came from him. A good portion of it came from him. So it should be fun to kind of see how that works out and everything. Yeah, good stuff. So okay, let's see. Not one question I got. I guess we'll do some Q&A questions since I'm not getting anyone in the chat for some reason. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not working. Maybe people can't comment or can't chat. So sorry, guys, if that is the case. If you're trying to send messages through and you can't. Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know. That's strange. If anybody's watching that has the chat open, please try to send something through just so I can see if it's working. Even if you just send through like a question mark or something. All right, so I guess what I'll do is maybe I'll cut this a bit short since I can't seem to get anybody to communicate, which was the whole point, to be honest with you. I mean, I can just do videos by myself, but the whole point was to interact, but I guess I kind of screwed this up, or I don't know, maybe I'm not using it properly, or maybe just nobody wants to chat, I guess. Let's see. I'll try a Q&A type one. I'm just playing with the options right now, see if I can figure out what's going on. Oh, okay, here we go. So in the Q&A, I've got some questions through here. I can see them now, so that's cool. All right, so what I'll do is I'll do one more. Okay, yeah, the chat is working. Yeah, I see that message from, I think it's Will Turner. So thanks, Will. Yeah, I do see that. So I guess I should start from the beginning. That way I don't miss people. All right, let me do one question I had prepped, and then I'll get into your guys' questions here. So, yeah, one person asked in the previous video when I announced I was going to be doing this live feed was, will there be more Walking Dead webisodes? As far as I know, yeah. They've been doing them every year, but they kind of release them near the end of the summertime, like usually like late August or September. Even sometimes, I think last year was pretty late. It was like late September, October, that type of thing. So at that point, we're getting ready for The Walking Dead anyway. I mean, the webisodes, I do like them, I do enjoy them, but they're kind of like just a low-budget little thing. The only thing I wish about the webisodes is that they tie more into The Walking Dead actual series than they have. Because for the most part, with the webisodes, like we had the one with Bicycle Girl, that wasn't a bad tie-in. But the one at the storage bin, where it was like Rick's, the Grimes family storage unit. I personally, I was like, how is that? Like, how is that even barely a tie-in? You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's get some better tie-ins for the webisodes that actually do, relate back to the TV series a little bit better. So hopefully in the future they start doing that. I would have liked to have seen Merle. I did a video on this last summer, I think. I would like to see a webisode done for Merle and what happened to him after he was left on the roof. I think that would have been sweet. Even if, if the governor's men helped him out or found him or whatever the case may be, I really would have liked to have just seen what happened to him after he was left. Because, yeah, we did see him again in season 3, and he did talk a little bit about how they rescued him or whatever. But I would have liked to have seen that in video play out visually. I think that would have been really cool for a set of webisodes. And there's other cool ideas too, but it depends how much of a budget they want to put into it. So I guess we'll we'll have to see if they ever step up their webisode game. Maybe they won't. Okay, so I guess I should start with Gabe and Danino's question, and he asks, what do you think was going to happen to Rick's group this season, or what do you think is going to happen to Rick's group this season? Well, generally, I would probably say I think they're going to escape Terminus pretty quickly, like within a few episodes, as a result of a zombie herd or something of the sort happening, maybe someone attacking it, or just something crazy going on with that. And then after they kind of escape, I would assume they probably head towards Washington, D.C. with Eugene's kind of plan there, so that he can try to save the world or whatever, according to what Abraham says. So I would think that's what we're going to see. So yeah. So thanks for the question. That's what I think is going to happen with that. Let's see. Daniel Mart asks, will you ever have a child? Yeah, I mean, probably. That's kind of like a personal question. Yeah, I mean, most likely. It's just that I'm so focused on what I'm doing right now that I don't really want to do that yet. Later on, I mean, there's plenty of time. I think a lot of people, they have them early. And for me, I'd rather get the work. For me, I always do business before pleasure. So I get my work done, and then I go out and play. It's like when you're a kid, right? Your parents tell you, finish your homework, and then you can go out and play. And that's the way I live my life. Most people don't, though. Most people don't. I mean, sometimes things just happen, right? That's just the reality. Things happen, and what are you going to do? So, but for me, I'd rather kind of plan it out and get my work done first, and then do that afterwards. So, in a few years, not right now. I'm focused on the channel mainly right now, and my job and everything. So. Let's see. Next question comes from Guys on the Couch Films, and he says, "Hey Trev, do you think the Walking Dead TV series, they're going to go down the same route they went down with Eugene in the comic series?" And I don't want to get into spoilers because I'm trying to avoid that. But do I think so? Yeah, I think so. But the funny thing about the comic series is, even though we interpret what happens with Eugene at first as him being full of afterwards, he kind of actually delivers on that, because using his intelligence, he's able to help rebuild society to the point where they're actually able to build mills, and you have blacksmiths, and you've got all these things. So he kind of actually does, him and Rick anyway, and the rest of them, kind of restart humanity. So it's not like he's totally lying. He's not really. Yeah. So there's that. Oh man, I'm having trouble with these comments here. Okay. So there's that one. Another question from Gabe. He asks, do you think Rick will ever die? Yeah, I pretty much would guarantee it, as long as the series goes on long enough. I mean, if the series gets canceled or something, then maybe not. Maybe they won't, kill Rick off in time for it to get canceled or something. But if it goes on for past, 10, 15, 20 seasons, at some point in time, yeah, Andrew Lincoln is going to get old, too. Think about it. We're 4 seasons in, but what about in 10 years from now? Is he still going to want to keep killing zombies every day? Who knows? I mean, we'll have to see. After he's made, a lot of money, maybe, who knows, $5, $10 million or something, will he still want to do that? Or will he just retire? Will he say, that's it? I guess we'll have to see what happens. In the comic series as well, too, yeah, I think eventually he will. I think that's part of the story, so, yeah. Let's see. Next question. Let's do one from, Will Turner. Sorry, Will. And he asks, do you think we will see Carol die this season? That's a good one, man. That's a good question. Man, that's tough, because the thing is with her is, I think the answer to that question lies in whether or not she's a completely new character for the TV series, or if she is kind of like the comic book series version of her, because in the comic book series she's like a totally different character. She's like blonde, she's like 20-something, or that type of thing, and she's not that tough. She's not like Carol in the TV series. So I would say no. I don't think Carol's going to die off this season, because I don't think she's the same as Carol was in the books. I think she's like, even though she shares the same name, I don't think she's the same character generally. So that's kind of my answer to that one. All right, let's see. Next question after Will. I'm trying to keep them in order based on people who asked them. So I'll get to your guys' questions if in time. I'm only going to do this for 1 hour, so about till 10. So then we'll go from there. Zach Stewart, he asked, Trev, what's better, Breaking Bad Season 5 or Game of Thrones Season 4? Oh, man, that's a tough question, man. I mean, Breaking Bad Season 5 was insane, and Game of Thrones Season 4 was one of the best seasons of a TV series I've ever seen. Okay, here's your answer, in my opinion. I would say Breaking Bad Season 5 because it's the final season, and because they lived up to the hype that season had set out for it, right? Because so many times you'll have an ending of something, like Fargo is a good example, I would think, where the ending was pretty good with Fargo, but it didn't kind of live up to, what you would have hoped to see for a big finale like that. Whereas in Breaking Bad, it actually surpassed that. It was so, like, the last season of Breaking Bad was so good, it actually made the rest of the series kind of look bad. It was that much better. So, man, Game of Thrones Season 4 is like my favorite season of a TV series ever almost. But Breaking Bad's final season, because it's the final season, I'd have to say, if you're talking like a versus, I would have to go with that one because of what it did for the series. It's just incredible. Let's do one from, let's see here. All right. Okay, Gabe Antonino asks again, when and where will Rick's group go after Terminus? Well, I mean, probably the same as the comic book series. They'll probably head towards Washington, D.C. for Eugene and Abraham and kind of get talked into that mission, sort of. So that's what I would say. Probably the same as the comic book series. Emily Stoves asks, or just says, yeah, Falling Skies is weird. It's weird. It's really weird. Yeah, it's a weird show. And it's, I don't know. It has an audience. I like alien stuff a lot. I like alien invasion stuff. And I think an alien invasion survivor horror series could do really well because it's kind of like the Walking Dead formula, but except for zombies, you have alien invasion, which could be cool, right? But the point where they're fighting back in this war against aliens, and then you have some characters that are like, turned to the alien side, and they're like, I don't even know. It's just, and then the aliens capture some people, and then they let them go again. It's like, what? It's like, what? It doesn't even make any damn sense. It's just ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Let's see. Northeast Preppers says, I love how you get so upset at the spoiler phobes. I try not to let trolls bother me in the channel. I try my best, but the thing is that sometimes they're subscribers. That's the thing. Like, sometimes subscribers are the ones who behave in that manner. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, if you're going to subscribe to somebody, because, like, I do have a channel where I will subscribe to a few people on YouTube that I like their videos, but I'm not going to do that and then just troll them for, I don't know, for nothing, basically. And that happens to me a lot. It's like, why do you subscribe to that? I just don't. I don't get it. So, yeah, I ignore the trolls for the most part. But yeah, there's that. Okay, Specky8470 asks. I don't know if it's a male or female. I would assume a male because 80% of my viewers are male. He asks, Trev, do a Maggie and Andrea versus video. I mean, what? Andrea and Maggie versus video. Are we talking comic book series or TV series? I mean, obviously, comic book series, you're going to have to go with Andrea. TV series, I don't know, Andrea's dead, and she was kind of stupid, so I guess Maggie, but I wouldn't do a whole video just on that. I don't think that's worth it. So, yeah, I don't think so. Sam Steed asked, can you see my question, Trev? I'm trying, man. It's somewhere here. I'm doing the best I can. Sorry. I'm probably not going to get to everybody. I didn't think I'd get this many questions, so my apologies. Demon Boo 92, probably a Dragon Ball subscriber. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing for Dragon Ball. I don't have many Dragon Ball subscribers. So says, what is your theory why Merle cut his hand off instead of the pipes or handcuffs? Well, I think the idea is that it would have been a lot faster to cut through his own flesh and bone than it would have been to try to saw through, because the saw was like, it wasn't like a good condition saw. It was like ready to break off itself, and it was all rusted and everything, right? So getting through a big pipe or something with that, I mean, that would take like hours. Like that would take all day, and the walkers were the thing. So he was in the heat. He was delusional. He didn't know what was happening, and he just wanted to get out of there. So that's what he did. So I think it makes sense. Okay, let's see. Walking Dead web series asks, do you think we will see Beth in the Comic-Con Season 5 trailer for The Walking Dead? Oh, good question, man. Very good question. I'm going to say if we do see her, it'll be in some kind of like situation where we can't tell based on that what kind of state she's in. You know what I mean? Like we can't, like they wouldn't want us to be able to tell based on what's in the trailer where Beth is or what's going on with her. So I would think that we'll either see her very briefly, just a bit, or not at all. I would probably lean more towards no, we probably won't see her at all until she appears. It's kind of like the Judith situation with Tyrese. You remember halfway at the season where they had, Judith and Tyrese, and of course they didn't show it until the episode in any of the trailers or anything because they didn't want us to think anything. Yeah. Perez Tahir says, "Yo, Trevs, what's up, dude?" Reptile5796 says, "Do you think that Carl will still lose his eye?" Well, watch my video. My thoughts on that one. I did a whole video on that one, so just watch that. No reason for me to repeat it. Let's see. Dylan Iwan asks, would you consider doing your gameplay for games based on the Walking Dead Game of Thrones? I would love to, man, but I would have to upgrade my computer. My computer's not fast enough to do that, and that would be like $1,000 probably. To get a good gaming PC that can record everything in HD with proper latency so it's not lagging like crazy, you would have to get a pretty good gaming machine. And I just don't have one. So unfortunately, I probably won't ever, or at least not anytime soon, be able to do that. I'd like to eventually, because I like to try different things with videos and, kind of see where it goes. So the Walking Dead video game has done really well. And it's one that if I was going to do that, if I was going to start doing gaming videos, it would be one of the first ones I would do for sure. Former Dave94 says, what's your opinion on the series' portrayal of characters from the comic books? Tendency to be quite different from their original characters. Well, generally I would say I like it. I like it because we already know those characters. The comic book series is there. Now I've seen an interview, and I don't mean to just repeat Robert Kirkman, but in the interview he basically says, the comic book series is there. If you want to know that story, go read the comic book series. If you want to see something new, watch the TV series. You're still getting kind of the same overall story, but you're getting different characters, you're getting different character deaths, you're getting the addition of new characters like Daryl and Merle in that, and you're getting something different, something new, which I like a lot, versus just them doing the exact same thing. This is one thing about Game of Thrones, one knock I have against it. There's spoilers all over the place that just ruin the whole series. If you go online for half an hour, you can find out everyone's fate on Wikipedia in no time. You can know whatever happens to everybody down the road in almost no time. And that kind of sucks. It takes away the excitement. The Walking Dead's great because they do change it, so you don't know what's going to happen. I've read the Walking Dead comic series probably 3 or 4 times over every issue. And I try to make predictions, and a lot of times I'm wrong. I'm still wrong. And that's a good thing. I should be wrong sometimes. I shouldn't be able to tell you everything that's going to happen and be right about it, I think, personally. So good question. Thanks, man. Faraz Tahir asks, Yo, Trev, what age did you start getting into The Walking Dead? Well, I don't know exactly. It'd probably be before the TV series started, maybe 2 years before the TV series started, the comic book series. And at that point, when I read that, I was so excited for the TV series because it was like the best. In my opinion, I've read a lot of comic books, a lot of different comic book series, the big ones like X-Men, Batman, Avengers, different Captain America, and I've got some favorites. And then when I read The Walking Dead, it was like that much better than any other comic book series I'd read. I just became like obsessed with it. I was like, this is the best comic book series ever. And then I ran out and just bought every trade I could find. I just became instantly addicted to it because I like zombie apocalypse stuff. And The Walking Dead is the best there is at zombie apocalypse stories. So that's what kind of got me into it. And Yeah, it was probably, I guess, 5 years ago now, something like that, or 6 years, I guess. Let's see. Okay. 18 RKO fan says top 10 movies of all time. That's a tough one, man. Top 10 lists are tough, and to create something like that that'd be really hard to count down your top. Like, think about it for yourself. You guys think about it for yourselves. Top 10 favorite movies, like which are like, because the thing is, movies come out all the time. Every week there's new movies coming out, right? And some of them are really good, and you also have, of course, so many years of movies, older movies and newer ones, and genres, and it's insane. It's hard to come up with a list. I could come up with a list, but it would change. The thing is, but I'll tell you right off the bat, my favorite movie ever made is still The Dark Knight. X-Men: Days of Future Past is up there. I've got some others too I really like a lot, but yeah, those two are pretty much my favorite ever. Watchmen's in there. I love comic book stuff, right? Some zombie movies, for example, Day of the Dead's my favorite zombie movie. So yeah, there's lots, man. It's tough to come up with things like that. Sorry, my throat's getting kind of raw. I talk so fast, it's I'm losing my voice. So there's coffee, instant coffee. Can't go wrong. Keep me going. Okay, let's see. Northeast. Oh, I lost it. Another message came in and bumped it. Northeast Preppers asks, "Hey Trev, do you think we will ever revisit the prison in the comic book?" Oh man, that's tough. Will we ever revisit the? I would love to see it again, just to see what's going on. Kind of to get an idea. I hope so, but maybe not. I would lean towards probably not, but I would love to see it if Kirkman decides to do it. Sam Steed asks or says, "Trev, how has YouTube changed your life? Does the extra money help with maintaining a home and other expenses?" I don't really do YouTube for money. That's not what I do. I mean, I do have, like, YouTube is my own business, right? I am an entrepreneur in that capacity, but I have a full-time job for that. YouTube for me mainly is like a really big hobby for me in my life where I love to do it basically because I actually work from home. I won't tell anybody. I won't say anything about my job because that's got to be careful with that, especially blogging, talking about your job in any way. So I work from home, so I don't get a lot of social interaction with people because I'm always like here on my computer from home. I don't meet coworkers. I don't talk to people face to face on a daily basis. So for me, YouTube is awesome because I can interact with you guys and I can kind of get that human interaction even if it's through a computer system. For me, working from home, it's awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, it does help a lot with, I can buy The Walking Dead on Blu-ray. I don't spend a lot of money. I can buy some figures, stuff like that. But mainly, I do it because I love it. I have a passion for it. I've actually been making videos since I was like on the computer since I was like 9 years old. I used to make Dragon Ball Z anime music videos when I was a kid, just splicing them with music. Not stuff I owned. I couldn't put that on YouTube and keep a good account, But yeah, so I do it because I love it. I could easily go and do something else, but I choose to do YouTube not for money. I choose to do it because I love it. I choose to do The Walking Dead and buy Walking Dead T-shirts and do all that because I love it. That's why I do it. I do it because I enjoy it. So I just want to answer it that way. I don't want anybody thinking like like greedy or no. I do it because I love it. That's why I do it. Let's see. Oh, I had a question and then the list got bumped again. Yeah, I want to apologize to anybody who, if I don't get to your questions, it's totally random. I'm just going through the list, just grabbing whatever I can grab, and it's bumping around because you get new ones coming in and stuff. So, sorry guys if I miss your question. Let's see. Nick Schneider asks, "Have you ever watched the show Heroes? And what do you think of Heroes Reborn?" I actually have seen it, and I do like it because it gives me kind of an X-Men feel, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of it. Crazy Dude asks, "Have you ever watched Dexter?" Yes, and actually Demon Boo asks, "What's your," or not him, yeah, and what's your opinion on Dexter? Crazy Dude also asks. Opinion on Dexter, I like Dexter, but it's very dark, like the first season. I watched the premiere, and I was like, man, this is a dark series, and it was a little bit too dark for me. And I like dark stuff, I review a lot of dark shows. Game of Thrones is really dark. The Walking Dead, you watch the episode with The Grove with Lizzie and Mika, very dark sometimes. But Dexter for me, it like crosses that line where you get into that serial killer territory. I like watching Dateline sometimes for real world stuff like that, but to see a series like it, like Dexter, personally, I'm not, I'm not that big of, I'm not that big. It's too much for me. I can't take it. So a little too dark for me. Maybe it's being Canadian or something. I don't know. we're pretty like reserved like that. We don't usually like stuff like that. Kyle W asks, what is your second favorite show? Tough question. You already know. I know you asked second favorite. See, that's smart. He asked second favorite because he knows number one favorite, Walking Dead, for sure. Second favorite now, Game of Thrones. It was Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad's over now. So, I mean, of all time, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to think about Breaking Bad versus Game of Thrones for a while, but probably Game of Thrones, I'd say. Series is absolutely incredible with great replay value. Let's see. Okay, I want to pick some questions from different people because I don't want to answer the same question for everybody. Caleb Rose asks, who will Rick's group meet in Season 5? Well, probably some, evil people on the way along the road, and then eventually the people that run the Alexandria safe zone, I would think. Probably. Who knows? Maybe even if they escape, Gareth and the others will try to hunt them down after they get out of Terminus, because that'd be interesting to see. They kind of turn into hunters. By the way, I've seen people comment about that on YouTube. I'm not stealing your comment. I'm just saying I think you're right. That's all. Let's see. Dara Lee, Dara Lee, says, do you think you'll start to watch Arrow before Season 3? That's a series, man. I want to watch Arrow. I do, but because of my lifestyle, I don't have time. They release so many episodes, like 23 episodes a season, I think. That's like almost 23 hours. Well, not 42 minutes times 23. So you're looking at like 18, 19 hours of television there, or maybe less than that, a little less than that. But that's a lot of time, and unfortunately, I don't have time to catch up with it. And with me, I'm the type of person that if I want to get into a series, I want to watch like everything for it. I don't just want to watch an episode here and there. I want to start from the beginning, watch everyone through. And with Arrow, I don't have time. Even though I actually have some Green Arrow action figures and stuff for my DC figure collection. So, by the way, I picked up a new figure today. It's a Game of Thrones figure. There's no Walking Dead figures out right now, but it's Ned Stark. So he's pretty cool. So I like him quite a bit. So most of you guys aren't into this. I know. I collect some Walking Dead stuff and Game of Thrones stuff. And here's a Tyrion. Tyrion. Love Tyrion, man. Great character. So big time into Game of Thrones right now because, of course, the series was on and all that. So Grant Bedu says, do you read me, Trev? Well, now I do. Yeah, thanks. You probably wrote that in when I asked before. Sorry, man. Let's see. Spaznaz Beaver, thank you. Even I noticed your picture because I've seen you comment quite a bit. And he asks, how much should Game of Thrones Season 5 will cover? Wall and King's Landing are still in the storyline, but stuff like Bran are almost caught up. Oh, okay. Okay, so I don't want to get into spoilers for people that don't read the books, but I think they'll probably stick to half a book a season now, roughly. Not exactly, but half a book a season. That way they can milk it out because they don't want to catch up that soon. Who knows how long it's going to take Martin to release the other 2 books he's going to do. So HBO will probably try to slow down the pace and really stretch it and add in a bunch of stuff to fill it out. So maybe half a book a season, I think, is a good bet. Let's see. Trying to find good questions here, other than people just saying hi and stuff. You should have Skype conversations with people about something, he was saying. It just bumped up again, damn it. Yeah, by Clax Clue Scar. Yeah, I've thought about that, but the thing is with me is I'm up really late, and it's kind of hard for me to arrange things like that. For us, Tahir says, do you like any Dragon Ball Z games? I like them all, man. I like them all, but I don't have much time to play video games. I mainly play Warcraft 3, but I do have Raging Blast 2. I didn't buy the newer one, and I have a ROM of Tenkaichi 3, which is an older PlayStation 3 one. That was released a long time ago. FC Schaefer asks, what's your third favorite TV show? Okay, I guess Breaking Bad, I guess. Yeah, I guess so, because Game of Thrones would be number 2 now. Okay, let's see. Next question, Sam Rose. Do you think that Carl and Beth will ever have a relationship? No. No, I don't think so. Yeah, no. John Cigaris asks, "Are you gay or nah?" Hmm. Well, last time I checked, I don't seem to be gay. But one thing I do a lot with my videos is I try to make a lot of hand motions and mannerisms like that because people body language is a huge part of communication that we don't even think about. So I actually do that on purpose. Okay. But I don't in real life. I don't do wavy wrist motions or things like. I don't do that. So I don't know. People ask me that, but do I sound gay? Do I? You can't always. It's not always that easy to tell if someone's gay or not. But no, I'm not gay. I have me and Jess are not technically married yet, but we have a house together and we're pretty close to that. I mean, we could do that anytime, but no, I'm not homosexual. Jerk. um, Next question. The King Falls Down asks, Trev, did you hear there's TWD? What? Oh, there's two Dragon Ball Kai Buu Saga versions. Toei is a mess with releases. Yeah, I know, man. I don't know. Dragon Ball is crazy between the initial releases in Japan and then how they dub it over into English and Funimation and everything and the movies and all that. It's like I don't know. It's a mess. I know what you mean. And the older series and then the new ones. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. Matt Scogans asked, "Hey Trev, do you think The Walking Dead would work as an anime?" Okay, this is one. Okay, here's my answer to all of that. In North America, no. In Japan, yes, it definitely would. The reason why is because in Japanese culture, they use cartoons or animation a lot for adult audiences. In North America, culturally, it's never caught on. HBO and like Todd McFarlane tried to do Spawn, which was a cartoon anime, sort of, I guess. Well, they're the same thing, really. Let's be honest. So anime, but it was for adults. You'd have blood, you'd have gore, you'd have all this stuff, and it didn't catch on. It didn't. I think it did pretty well, but it didn't do as well as it would have needed to do. So in North America, cartoons for adults just it doesn't work, man. I mean, unless something can come along and really change everyone's opinion, it doesn't work. Could The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or any of these series, Breaking Bad, work animated? Yeah, for sure. Look at Death Note, for example, in animation. That's similar in some ways to, well, not really Breaking Bad, but you can kind of see how Breaking Bad could be done in that style and done really well. And I would love it because I love animation. But the thing is that North American audiences, they won't go for it, man. I'd love to see it, but they won't go for it. I'm telling you right now. Let's see. I want to pick another one from someone else. I'm going to skip a few, so sorry if I skipped yours. Where in Canada do you live? Grant Bedouin is asking me where I live. I try not to put that out there, man. It's not to be offensive to anybody or anything, but I don't say where I live specifically. The reason for that is who knows? The internet is everybody out there. You have no idea who you're telling. I don't want to be telling people where I live, where I work. It's not a good idea, man. That's dangerous. To tell you the truth, because there's some crazy people out there. I'm sure most of you guys are really, really cool, but yeah, that's not a good idea, man. It's really not. I'm telling you right now. Brian Lenarskit asks, why do you think Daryl will leave to become Dwight? Well, I don't think he'll leave to become Dwight. I think he is Dwight. I think that Kirkman said he wouldn't put Daryl in the comic book series, so instead he made up this character named Dwight and put him in instead. Plus, we've seen Daryl kind of leave the core group to be as a part of Joe's group kind of by force because he probably felt that Joe's group would probably kill him if he decided to leave the group or try to. So, it makes a lot of sense that his storyline would follow Dwight's from the comics. Because here's a question. When we get to that point, would you want to have two guys with crossbows that dress alike, that look somewhat alike, in the series? Would you want to have Daryl there, and then you got this other guy named Dwight who's like a rip-off of them, and have them both in the series at the same time? Would that make sense? Not really. I don't think so anyway. So we'll have to see what happens with that, but that's what I think. Let's see. Northeast Preppers also asked, Trev, since you stay up late, like you say, a lot in your videos, do you drink a lot of energy drinks, Monster, Red Bull, Rockstar, etc.? Got to be careful with that stuff, man. I used to, when I was in university and I was studying computer science and I was up late and doing programming and writing algorithms and math, like calculus, advanced calculus and stuff. I was bad for that. I would have energy drinks like crazy just to stimulate my brain because the stuff was so boring and so dry, right? Got to be careful with energy drinks, man. They'll put weight on you, and I noticed that after having an energy drink, like the next day or two, I get like kind of a hangover off it. Not like not like an alcohol hangover, but like your brain kind of is depressed. And nowadays, I try to stick to coffee. That said, every once in a while, like once a month maybe, or once every few weeks, yeah, I do have an energy drink sometimes. But most of the time, when I'm making videos, it's water and coffee usually. And protein shakes and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway. Let's see. Kajani Holton asks, if Dragon Ball Z was to make a new series, how would you start it, and would it be after GT or Battle of the Gods 1? Great question, man. Thank you for that question. Definitely after Battle of the Gods. Definitely scratch GT. It never happened. Pretend it never happened, everybody. Just forget about it. And start it after Battle of the Gods and bring in some new characters, man. You can have Goku and Vegeta and the others there, but bring in some new blood. You know, do something with them so that they're kind of out of the picture. Don't kill them, I wouldn't say, but kind of make them retire or something. Have some new characters come up, some new villains. Maybe just have a time skip so they get old. You know, if Goku's 60, is he really going to be that powerful as he was? You know, he might have a lot of experience in that, but maybe he can't turn Super Saiyan anymore or something, or he can't, you know, like do something like that with some new characters. Yeah, I would love to see that. Let's see. Let's try to find a Walking Dead question here. So Charlie Felton says, Merle Dixon versus Abraham Ford, who would win? Tough one. Man, I'm going to have to go with Merle, just because of his kill count, because of how cold he is, and because, you know, he's got that blade hand and he knows how to use it so damn well. Abraham's tough as nails too, but I think I'd have to go with Merle in that one, just based on his resume, based on his kill count and how cold he is. Definitely him. Somebody else asked, I lost the person, but they said, oh, okay, Robert Romano says, who is your favorite YouTuber? That's a tough one, man. It'd probably be a figure, person who does figure reviews. I don't know. There's a bunch of different ones out there. Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't want to say one in particular because then I'd be like, you know, I'd probably somebody else instead. So I wouldn't really want to say. Sorry, man. Let's see. Actually getting some different Dragon Ball Z questions, which is strange to me because sometimes I wonder how many subscribers I have for each series. I think most of them are for The Walking Dead, but you know, it's weird to me, you know, who is interested in what sometimes. It's hard to tell for me sometimes. Let's see. The Mr. Logran says, what are your thoughts on Robert Kirkman's other comic book series, Invincible? Yeah, man, I mean, Invincible's a great series. I read it to about issue 40, I think, and then I stopped reading it. It's not because it's not good. It's just a little imaginative. It's kind of like he took Spider-Man and Superman and he spliced them together. That's the way I look at Invincible, the character himself. Now, in terms of his dad and all that kind of stuff, it's really cool, man. Really, really cool. Vultramites and everything. So it's a great series. Kirkman is, I think he's the most talented writer in comic books around right now. Tell you the truth, I think he is. I mean, he's done some great stuff, and he creates his own stuff. I like that too. You know, I mean, there's been Batman and different, you know, comic book characters. Their comics have been released for like 50, 60 years now. But Kirkman, he comes in and he makes his own stuff, 100%. The Walking Dead, he created that whole thing. Rick Grimes didn't exist before he set foot on that, you know, and same with Invincible, same with a lot of the other series. So I respect that a lot, man. Can't go wrong with that. It's hard to come up with your own stuff, too, so that's another reason for that. iRichie25 says, Trev, who do you want to see die the most out of every character on The Walking Dead? So who do I want to see die the soonest or the most? Probably right now, Gareth. I find him to be very obnoxious, annoying, and just, I don't know. Something about him really annoys me. I mean, you're not supposed to like him. He's a bad guy. But, yeah, probably Gareth. Out of Rick's group, probably, I don't know. Sasha's kind of bitchy. She's very bitchy, actually. So probably her. Yeah, or maybe Beth, because she's annoying, too. But a lot of people like Beth, so my apologies. Anyway. All right. Robert Cresswell asks, if you could make the ending in The Walking Dead, what would happen? Yeah, that's a good question, man. Probably at the very end of The Walking Dead. It depends. It depends on what happens before that. I mean, I would probably have Carl take over from Rick eventually as the main character and spread it out to other characters. And then at the end of the series, I'd probably have somebody like maybe Rick die. Maybe that would be a good ending for the series. But even though he dies, have someone like maybe Carl or Michonne or somebody, have them all give like a speech, like have an issue just where they all kind of give a speech at his funeral of what Rick Grimes contributed to society to help restart it to the point where they can go, okay, Rick's life work was us, this society that he's helped us build or put forward to build. Now we can take it on from there. And then you can end the series on a good note, which everyone would not expect, which is to kill Rick but have his life's work live on. Carl, all the others be okay and survive forward. I think that would be a good way to end the series. And I think that might be what we see happen. So Rick's death would be the end for me. And a funeral, I guess. Okay, let's see. Schumann16 says, if The Walking Dead wasn't on AMC, what channel do you think it could be on? FX has got some good shows. I mean, Fargo was on that, so that could be a good network for it. HBO could do it really well because they have big budgets and no commercials and 60-minute episodes, which is pretty cool. That'd be a good network to see it on. Also, NBC's got the Blacklist, so they could probably do something like that on NBC if they were to pick it up. Let's see. The King Falls Down asks, who do you prefer the most? Boo, Frieza, or Cell? I mean, the whole bad guy, not the whole saga. Okay, so bad guy itself. Dragon Ball Z question for those of you guys who don't follow. I'll make it quick. Basically, Cell, I think he's the most interesting out of all the villains. Frieza is too, but either Cell or Frieza, and I think I'd probably have to go with Cell. Well, the Cell saga is better than the Frieza saga, in my opinion, anyway. A lot of people don't feel that way, but I would probably have to go with Cell himself. I think he's great. Joseph Choi says, Walking Dead or Breaking Bad, which one? Man, damn tough question, but Walking Dead for me, although I do see that Breaking Bad is of insanely good quality, so I can see if other people liked it better. It's great quality. iRichie25 says, Trev, have you ever been recognized by a fan on the streets? Yes. I got my oil changed one time, and the guy's like, hey, you're Trevor, and I'm like thinking to myself, oh shit, this is embarrassing because I don't know who the hell this guy is. I don't know who the hell he is. Oh, no, I watch you on YouTube, man. Oh, okay. I had to ask that question. This is the worst question ever. Do I know you? That is such a rude... See, in Canada, we're all about trying to be nice to each other. We try not to be rude to each other. So that's like one of the most insulting questions you can ever ask someone is, who are you? Who are you? Like as if you just don't know who they are. So I didn't want to ask that, but yeah, I didn't know who he was, and he watches the channel. So there you go. Cool. Next question is from Nick Schneider. He also asks, what comic book movie are you looking forward to the most in the future? Well, it was X-Men Days of Future Past, but now, damn, man, that's a tough one. Maybe Avengers 2. Avengers 2 is going to be sick, I think. Aside from that, X-Men Apocalypse will be good. Yeah, Batman versus Superman. I don't know, man. I want to say that's going to be awesome, but I have this feeling in the back of my mind like it's just not going to work out well. I don't know why. I just have this thought like it's just not going to be as good as The Dark Knight Returns, the storyline it's mostly based on. But yeah, that's what I think. Another question from him. He says, what happened to your first channel? Nothing. It's still there. Yeah, it's still there. Basically, it's in my channel and my connected channels. It's my old channel where I did mostly action figure related stuff because I like action figures. So yeah, I mostly did action figure type videos, some mixed martial arts videos. This was before the Walking Dead TV series started for the most part, or it had just started basically. Nothing happened to it. It's just that the UFC, they constantly strike people for making videos about the UFC. They hate people making videos. So I had to open a new account because they screwed up my old account. But then after 6 months, the strike wore off. So the old account's okay. I just don't use it. The new account has 77,000 subscribers. The old account only has a couple thousand, I think. I haven't checked it for a while. Let's see. Logan Atwell says, how do you feel about True Detective? Well, I did a review on True Detective. So just watch the review. Yeah, but it's incredible, man. True Detective's one of the best series I've seen in a few years too. The downside of it though is that it's a one-shot deal. You're not getting they call it a series, but it's like a mini series because you get those characters, Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, amazing performances by them. But at the end of the season, that's it. I mean, they're still they don't die or anything, but that's it. It's one season, and they're not going to go forward with anything else after that. So that's a shame. They might change to totally different characters, like the whole American Horror Story approach to it. But yeah, it's a shame it could only be one season. Let's see. Sam Rose asked, "Do you think Magna will take over the comic book series if Rick dies?" At first, I thought so, but now, based on the way she's been behaving lately, I don't think so. I don't think so, man, because it seems to me more like with her, she might be actually an antagonist. She might not be a protagonist. She might be actually a bad guy to help Negan out. So I guess we'll see what happens. Let's see. I don't have many new questions here. We got about 9 minutes left. So Derek Young says, "Hey Trev, discuss what you think Tara's role on The Walking Dead will be this season. Will she be part of the group, or will Rick ostracize her?" I think he said once it just jumped again. Okay, so what do I think Tara's role is going to be, and will Rick ostracize her from the group? Good question, man. Good question. I think that she's a good character to keep alive because she came in from a different angle than everybody else. She was one that came in from that governor storyline, and there's no one else surviving from that storyline right now. There's no one else in Rick's group right now that came into that group from that storyline. So I think she's a good one to kind of have around, just maybe even permanently, just because she comes from that different angle. And it's cool to have different characters throughout the series that come from different points. I think it's a good idea. It kind of makes it feel like that part was more worthwhile because you had a character later on that did something in particular or just survived on for a while as a result. So that's what I think they'll do with that. Day 9 says, Daryl versus Morgan. Oh, tough question, but Daryl. Yeah. Yeah. Not that tough, I guess. Yeah, I would say Daryl. Matt Martin says, do you think any episode of next season of The Walking Dead will top Too Far Gone? No. No, I don't think so. I don't think that will be topped until All Out War, until we see something like that. Unless the Terminus thing, we'll have to see how that turns out. If we see some pretty good zombie horrors, that would be cool. But I would say probably not going to top Too Far Gone. No, I doubt it. All right, I guess we'll do a couple more. Reptile says, do you think Negan will kill Daryl? No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think that'd be kind of, I don't know. Some people have predicted that, but I don't think they would go that route personally. I don't think so. Let's see. Levy Walker says, do you think Breaking Bad will come back? Well, it's going to be called Better Call Saul, and it's going to be a new series. So who knows how long that could go on for. It's already got 23 episodes, 2 seasons ordered. So that could be another Breaking Bad. So that could be really good because Vince Gilligan is an amazing creator. I'd like to see him on the Walking Dead spinoff, but I guess we're not going to see that. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, a lot of Dragon Ball Z questions. I'm surprised. Very surprised, man, because I didn't think I had that many viewers that like Dragon Ball Z. I have a new video coming for that one, by the way, top 5 greatest fights in Dragon Ball Z. That should be, I think, Tuesday. I've got that lined up for. It's already done. Okay. I guess I'll do one more, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm just trying to find a good one to finish on. Maybe I won't be able to. Let's see here. Oh, somebody asked me, I had your name, but it jumped. Sorry, man. Do you have an account on the Walking Dead Wiki? Somebody created one for me, but it's not mine. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, like, I didn't create it. You know? And I don't have access to it because they put a password on the account. So, I mean, I'll have to see if I could edit that, or I'll have to look into that. I haven't really looked into that. But no, I don't really. I mean, someone made it for me, but it's not mine. Yeah. And Trevor Cox asks, I hope that's a real name, man. I hope you're not just being a says, will you be reviewing Better Call Saul once it's released? Yeah, man, I'll be reviewing Better Call Saul for sure. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed unless something major happens to the channel and I get shut down or something. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Let's see. I have one other one here. Uh, I think that's it. Send me some more questions, guys. Come on. We got like a few minutes left. Let's see. Any new questions? No. Okay. This Robert Romano asks. If you were offered the opportunity to be an actor or a walker on The Walking Dead, would you take it? Come on, man. Of course I would take it. Are you kidding me? That would be like the coolest thing ever, but it'll probably never happen. The other thing is I would have to like fly there, and I would have to like take time off work, and my boss might get pissed, and he might say, you know, because my boss knows I have a channel, which is awkward anyway, but he does. So somebody told him. Somebody kind of ratted me out. Not that it's a bad thing, you know. I'm not in trouble for having a YouTube channel. I think he's cool with it and everything, but if I started asking for time off work to like fly away to do something like that, he might, you know, it might conflict. I have a weird situation going because I have, you know, the YouTube thing I'm doing, then I have a regular day job. So they kind of, you know, they don't conflict, but if something like that did happen, they might start to. So I might even have to just say I can't do it because I have, you know, I got to keep my job. Like, what am I going to do? Like, between my job and a cameo, I mean, that'd be sweet, but I'd probably have to stay at my job, just be responsible. As cool as that would be, but yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to. Somebody said, thanks for doing this, and yeah, you're welcome, man. All right, let's see. Any other questions, guys? Any other good ones? Oh, somebody asked to watch the World Cup. Tim Odia. No, but I have in the past. I mean, I love soccer, but no, I can't. And Omar asks, Trev, can you do Breaking Bad's Ozymandias versus Too Far Gone? No, Too Far Gone would win. That's all there is to it. Ozymandias is awesome, though. I gotta admit, it was really good too, though. Yeah. Who plays Negan? Asks FC Schaefer. I did a video, man. Watch the video. But at this point, okay, so maybe if you're asking, what do I think now? Who should play Negan? Henry Rollins, I think, is a good choice. Or let's see, Vinnie Jones, I said, was a good choice. I still think he is. Or the guy who played Ash in the Evil Dead movies. Damn it, why can't I think of his name? He'd be good as well too. So any of those would be great, I think, personally. Let's see. All right, well, that's about it I want to say because I only have a few minutes left, 3 minutes left. So okay, I'll do one more. And okay, Amelia Stobbs asks, what do you think will be the main story? Okay, or what would you like to see in the premiere of season 5, or what would be the main story of The Walking Dead season 5? I would think mostly it's going to be them on the road, and then eventually them finding Terminus. And for the premiere, I think we're going to see them escape or be in the process of escaping. Like it'll be some huge kind of action thing with probably a herd or something come through. I'm sure we're going to see Carol and Tyrese and the others again and the baby because, you know, they may be the ones to free them, maybe find out what happened to Beth and the others. That's kind of what I would like to see and what I think we probably will see. So I guess that's pretty much good for now. It's about an hour, so I just kind of wanted to test this out, try it, and I want to thank you guys for joining me, all of you who came. If I didn't get around to your question, man, I'm really freaking sorry. It's not that I, you know, basically I just went through the list and picked whatever random ones I could get. So really sorry if I missed your question, you know, but I tried to get to pretty much everybody. So sorry guys if I missed you, but yeah, I mean. I guess that's pretty much it for the first one. Let me know what you guys thought about this. If you're watching this later on too, not live, but you're watching it after, put a comment below. Let me know what you think about this because I'm not sure. Maybe this is something I could do, you know, once a month or something, or once every couple weeks, and I can just kind of do a live hangout. Maybe an hour is too much. Maybe I could just do half an hour, or maybe an hour is not enough. Maybe I could do a couple hours. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback on this, and. Okay. All right, I better stop because Jesse Harden is pissed off. He says, this is unfair. It's 3 a.m. I've waited all this time. I've asked my question over 10 times, and all he did the entire hour is answer questions by other people until theirs got picked. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can't find your damn question. What's your question? I don't even see it here. Oh, man. Okay, I think I see it. Okay. So he says, Trev, do you think Dave Fennoy, voice actor for Telltale's The Walking Dead game, Lee Everett, could play? Oh, damn it! Jumped again. Could play Ezekiel in the Walking Dead television series. Considering Dave looks 100% like him, I don't know what he looks like, man. That's the problem. But if he does, if he does look a lot like him, I think that'd be great because he's already been in one Walking Dead, um, something like one product for the Walking Dead something, and for them to use him in the series, I think would make sense because he'd already have kind of that fan base, and he'd be able to do justice to the character since he'd be bringing those fans with him from the game to the TV series. So I think that makes sense. So, and yeah, I mean, sorry guys if you waited a while or whatever, because I know for some people there's some like people are watching from whatever time zone. Right now it's 10 o'clock here, but wherever you're watching from, if it's in the UK or I think one person asked from Sweden or something like that. So, so sorry guys if I just didn't get around to it, but yeah, I guess we'll do one more. Brett McAndrew says, if Shane didn't die, what would his role be now? I think Shane is the type of character, he either has to be a leader or nothing. Like he has to be a leader of his own group or he's going to leave. He's not going to be a number two to somebody. He's not going to be, he's an alpha male, right? And he absolutely despises being told what to do by anybody. He wants to lead his own path. He wants to make his own choices and do his own thing. At least that's the interpretation I got from the TV series version of Shane post-apocalypse. Maybe before that, maybe a job is okay, but in a zombie apocalypse, listening to other people and having a like a higher ranking leader of a group, I don't know if he'd put up with it. Yeah. So Jeremy Dyer says, I enjoyed this. Well, I'm glad, man. That's good. Thank you for all the questions, by the way. I got a bunch of questions from you. I didn't get around to all of them yet, but eventually I probably will. He has some good questions. Johnny Bravo says, more hangouts, Trev. Awesome, man. Well, I'll do the best I can to try, and I hope I didn't piss anybody off. If you waited, man, I'm really freaking sorry if I didn't get to your question. I got more questions than I could answer in an hour. So I said it'd be about an hour, so I guess I should call it here. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought about the Hangout. If you have other video topics, video suggestions, please send them to me. Still got lots of videos coming this week. Not many Walking Dead topics, though, because with The Walking Dead, we have no new content, and I've covered so many things. So it's hard for me to keep making new videos on it when I've already covered so much. So, yeah, so if you guys, let me know what you thought about it. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope it was worth it to you, and I hope I got a chance to answer one of your questions or at least, say hi, say what's up to you. So thanks for joining me, guys. If you want more of these, let me know. And, yeah, I'll call it here. So for this video, guys, for the live stream, see you for the next one. This is Trev, as always.